The Alchemist Paulo Coelho. Get ready for a transformative listening experience that will inspire you to follow your dreams. Listen to your heart and believe in the signs of the universe. If you haven't done it yet, subscribe to the channel and hit the like button now so you keep receiving optimized summaries on self-knowledge, purpose, and a success mindset every week. Summary of the book, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. The story begins with Santiago, a young shepherd wandering the plains of Andalusia, Spain, always accompanied by his sheep. He was used to reading books, observing the animals' behavior, and reflecting on the meaning of life. One night, Santiago repeatedly dreams of a child pointing him to a treasure hidden near the Egyptian pyramids. Intrigued, the young man decides to look for a gypsy woman who interprets dreams, and she confirms, if he goes to the pyramids, he will find immense riches. However, the gypsy demands a share of the treasure in exchange for the revelation. Santiago leaves, frustrated and doubtful, unsure if he should believe such a strange vision. That's when Melchizedek appears, the mysterious king of Salem, to confirm the dream's message. He tells Santiago that every person has a personal legend, a greater destiny they must fulfill to give their life meaning. Melchizedek explains that many people abandon their dreams because they end up believing the biggest lie in the world, that destiny controls everything, so it's not worth trying. He assures Santiago that when you truly want something, the whole universe conspires to make it happen. This encounter awakens courage in Santiago, who decides to sell part of his flock to pay for the journey to Egypt. He begins to pay attention to the omens, coincidences, and people he meets, trusting that every detail along the way can teach him something important. Melchizedek's message echoes strongly. Achieving your personal legend is not just a desire, but an obligation for those who want to live fully. Santiago also receives two special stones, Urim and Thummim, gifts from Melchizedek, which would help him interpret signs and make decisions when confused. These stones represent the importance of having spiritual and mental tools to move forward even in moments of doubt. When he arrives in Morocco, Santiago is quickly robbed by a thief, who steals all his money. Desperate, he thinks about giving up and returning to Spain, but remembers the advice to never abandon his personal legend. He decides to persist and finds a job in a crystal shop to rebuild his resources and keep going, working in the shop. Santiago learns far more than sales techniques or shelf organization. He discovers the value of patience, persistence, and observing omens, applying lessons that the shop owner could not see. Over time, he improves the business so much that he becomes known as a lucky and talented young man. But deep down, he knows what moves everything is his faith in the personal legend. Even so, the call of the treasure in Egypt keeps burning inside him. After saving enough money, Santiago decides to resume his journey, full of courage and hope. He understands that every experience, even losses, was serving as preparation for the greater quest. After all, fulfilling your personal legend means walking with confidence despite fear and uncertainties. If you haven't subscribed yet or hit like, do it now. That way you support this channel and keep getting optimized summaries, filled with insights that can transform how you see life. Insights Optimized Dreams call us to our true mission. A personal legend is life's greatest purpose. Listening to the heart connects us to the universe. The entire universe conspires in favor of those who act. Losses can be lessons in disguise. The signs are everywhere. You just have to learn to see them. Spiritual tools help in difficult decisions. Courage means going on despite fear. Living without following your dreams brings frustration. The first step always requires courage. And now, tell me, have you ever stopped to think about what your personal legend might be? Are you perhaps letting the universe's omens pass you by unnoticed? Stay with me, because in the next block, We'll follow Santiago through new challenges and discover how he transforms failures into learning opportunities to keep pursuing his treasure. Continue on this inspiring listening experience, which will show you how courage, persistence, and listening to your heart can open unimaginable paths. If you haven't subscribed yet or hit like, do it now to ensure you keep getting optimized summaries about purpose, self-knowledge, and a success mindset every week on this channel. Continuing this, the Alchemist book summary. After working in the crystal shop and saving money, Santiago decides to resume his journey toward the Egyptian pyramids. He realizes that along the way, he has been transforming not only his own story, but also the lives of those around him. The crystal shop owner, who used to live in stagnation, began to see possibilities for growth. This power to inspire others is part of living your personal legend. As he resumes his journey, Santiago joins a caravan crossing the desert. During the crossing, he meets an Englishman obsessed with finding a famous alchemist who can turn metal into gold. The Englishman is deeply invested in his books about alchemy, but Santiago notices that true wisdom is not only in books, but in listening to the heart and interpreting the omens of the world. Throughout this journey, Santiago begins to understand that the language of the world is not spoken with words, but with the soul. Everything around him can become a teaching: the stars, the wind, people, animals. You just need to be attentive and open to learn. The caravan faces constant dangers, warring tribes, rumors of attacks, and this teaches everyone to be vigilant and cautious. But it also strengthens a sense of unity because everyone shares the same goal: crossing the desert safely. In this environment, Santiago develops even more his perception and trust in his own instincts. At one point during their stay at an oasis, Santiago meets Fatima, a young woman who awakens in him a deep, true love. The encounter makes Santiago question whether he should abandon the search for the treasure and stay with her. But Fatima, with wisdom, reminds him that true love does not stop anyone from fulfilling their personal legend, but instead supports it. This reflection strengthens Santiago, who decides to keep moving toward his greater objective. Meanwhile, the Englishman insists on finding the alchemist, believing he will reveal magical secrets. Santiago, however, realizes that the treasure he seeks might be more internal than external. He starts to sense that the greatest wealth is learning the language of the heart, trusting his intuition, and transforming his own life into something valuable. The alchemist finally appears and recognizes in Santiago the courage and humility of someone who might understand the true alchemy, the one that transforms a human being from the inside out. He begins to guide the young shepherd, leading him toward greater knowledge about his personal legend, his connection with the universe, and the magic of fulfilling dreams. Insights optimized, inspiring other people is part of the journey. The language of the world speaks through omens, not words. True love supports dreams. It does not limit them. The desert teaches patience and vigilance. Every obstacle prepares you for something greater. Trusting intuition is trusting life. The real treasure begins within ourselves. Wisdom is about acting, not just studying. The journey is as transformative as the destination. Courage and humility open doors to mentors and learning. Now think, are you ignoring the silent language of the omens around you? In the next part, we will discover how Santiago faces even more difficult trials to get closer to his treasure and learn the true strength of transforming the world through the heart. If you haven't subscribed yet or liked the video, take this moment to do so. That way you guarantee access to more optimized summaries on self-knowledge, purpose, and applied psychology every week here on the channel. Continuing this, the Alchemist book summary. After learning from the Englishman and diving deeper into the alchemist's wisdom, Santiago realizes that true transformation does not just mean discovering material treasure, but rather diving into the essence of himself. The alchemist explains that those who understand the language of the heart can read all the omens of the world because this language connects everything that exists. Guided by the master, Santiago faces new challenges, including threats of war and the dangers of the desert. But he keeps alive the flame of his purpose. He learns that all trials have a function: to test his courage and strengthen his spirit so that he will be ready for the decisive moment. The alchemist also teaches that true alchemy is not about turning metals into gold, but about transforming your own life, refining your character, dreams, and faith. This inner transformation is the foundation for attracting external achievements. On the way, Santiago must deal with fear. Fear of failing, fear of losing Fatima, fear of not being capable. But the alchemist reminds him of a powerful truth. There is only one thing that makes a dream impossible to achieve: the fear of failure. This phrase becomes a mantra for Santiago, helping him to recover his confidence at every stumble. Later, the young man has a vision at the oasis, predicting an attack by enemy warriors. Even at the risk of being killed, he decides to warn the tribal leaders about the danger. His courage to trust his omens gains him respect and confidence among everyone, proving that the language of the world rewards those who act with faith and bravery. After that, Santiago grows even closer to the alchemist, who challenges him with an incredible task: to transform himself into the wind before a group of armed men, to prove his power and save his own life. Santiago is terrified, unsure how to do it, but decides to fully trust in what he has learned. He speaks with the wind, the sun, and the soul of the world, realizing he is part of something much greater and can therefore transform into anything he wishes. This epic scene shows that true alchemy is believing so strongly in your inner power that even the impossible becomes possible. By managing to transform into the wind, Santiago not only saves his life, but also takes a giant step closer to his treasure. Insight's optimized fear is the greatest enemy of dreams. Inner transformation is the greatest alchemy. Trusting intuition saves lives and opens paths. Difficult trials test the spirit's preparation. Courage inspires respect and leadership. We are part of something much greater than ourselves. The impossible becomes possible when we believe. Every challenge has a reason and a lesson. The universe responds to brave action. Inner power is stronger than any external technique. Now think, have you been trusting in your own capacity to transform your reality? Because in the next block, we will discover whether Santiago finally finds his treasure and what the most powerful lesson of the entire journey is. If you haven't subscribed yet or hit the like button, do it now, so you don't miss out on more optimized summaries on self-knowledge, purpose, and applied psychology every week on this channel. Continuing this, the Alchemist book summary. After overcoming the great challenge of transforming into the wind and proving the strength of his faith, Santiago resumes his journey toward the Egyptian pyramids. He believes he will finally find the treasure that motivated his entire quest. But when he arrives at his destination, he is surprised. He is attacked by war refugees who steal part of the gold he had received from the alchemist and even mock his dream. The leader of the thieves tells Santiago that he, too, once had a recurring dream about a treasure buried under a ruined tree in Spain, but never believed enough to look for it. This moment makes Santiago realize that sometimes the answer is much closer than we think, but we can only see it after walking the path and living the lessons. He understands that his treasure had always been back in the place where he started, but only now was he ready to receive it. Because he had changed, matured, and learned the language of the world, Santiago returns to Spain, to the site of his original dream, and truly finds a chest full of gold coins and precious items. But more valuable than any material wealth was the certainty that he had followed his personal legend, trusted his heart, and believed in the omens of the universe. He feels that from now on, he can live fully, knowing that the greatest treasure is the courage to pursue his dreams. This powerful message reminds us that true achievement is not only about the final result, but about every step taken, every lesson learned, and the strength to never give up, even in the face of fear or uncertainty. Insights optimized. The treasure may be closer than we imagine. The greatest gain is in the journey, not just the destination. Fear paralyzes, but courage moves mountains. Every step teaches something essential. Dreams demand action and persistence. The universe rewards those who truly believe. Learning the language of the heart changes everything. Following. Your personal legend means living with purpose. Faith renews hope in every difficulty. The greatest wealth is living fully. Too close. Paulo Coelho shows us that the greatest alchemy is to transform life with courage, love, and faith without giving up on dreams. When we listen to the heart and accept the omens, we find the strength to pursue what truly makes sense. So never give up on what makes your heart beat stronger, because the universe always conspires in favor of those who live their personal legend. If you haven't subscribed yet or hit like, do it now, so you can keep receiving these transformative contents, which will inspire you to build your best version every week here on the channel.